Despite its fall from number 2 in the nation and then a loss at Maryland, Boston College, with a win at Clemson, would still take the ACC Atlantic Division and play in the ACC title game for a chance at a BCS Bowl. Hey, how are you folks? Jason Horowitz. Glad to be with you on the Toyota College Football Preview, breaking down the 8-2 Eagles and 8-2 Tigers, who also with a win would take the Atlantic Division. And with more on that, we bring in Spencer Tillman from Houston, as we do every single week. And Spence, we'll get to Clemson in a sec, but Boston College was the national story. Now it's only 2 weeks later, but they're the forgotten team. What's wrong with the Eagles?
Well, first of all, it's their defense. The linebacking crew, Lohan and Pruitt, Dunbar and Pruitt, rather, inside linebackers have been out with injuries, and that's been problematic for them. So, again, it's not a cliche. Defense wins championships. And if you can't stop anybody, you don't have a shot at winning games. And this is a big one for them.
And it's been huge because they haven't been able to stop the pass or the run. And the latter there is much more important in this game because with Clemson, you've got a pair that's fantastic in James Davis and C.J. Spiller.
Well, they're outstanding, aren't they? And in Spiller's case, it's not just from the line of scrimmage you've got to be concerned. He's been ripping them off as a return man as well. He had an 84-yarder a couple of weeks ago and then a 90-yarder last week for a touchdown. And so, again, Davis, Spiller, from the line of scrimmage, you expect them to be a threat. Now they're in all phases of the game, at least 2 phases of them, and making a tremendous impact. And
Tommy Bowden has also praised his quarterback for the improvement, that being Cullen Harper as well. On the other side, Boston College, Matt Ryan, obviously the pro prospect, the Heisman Trophy is pretty much pretty much gone away from Boston College after the last 2 losses. What does he have to do in this game? Is it a scenario where he himself has to lead this team to victory?
Well, it's going to help. Obviously, he can go out and execute. But again, if you look, there's a relationship between Andre Callender's success as running back that is really, for the last couple of games, has been really on the schneid. He hadn't been able to get plus yardage. They've got some injuries up front on the offensive line. So I think that's the biggest issue that we're dealing with. In order for Ryan to have a breakthrough game, he's got to have, in this system, this Jeff Jagodzinski's West Coast style approach, you got to have a complementary running game. And that's just not been there.
And you can't turn the ball over, and that doesn't help because Clemson is very good at takeaways so far this season. Spence, the Tigers, they haven't won a conference title since 1991. Fans in Death Valley, they're hungry. They want it. Do they get this win and get to Jacksonville for the ACC championship game?
I think they're going to get the upset. And again, I say that because it's counter to what history has proven. They've always waned near the end of the year. But this year they seem to be developing some new consistency in their running game, which I always look to as foundational for a team that is going to make a significant stand, seems to be hitting on all 8 cylinders. So I think that Clemson is going to get the upset.
That's a big car with 8 cylinders. You got to love that. You're right about them falling apart.
Hey, there's some with 12 cylinders with the Jaguar.
Well, you've got them out there. I'm sure we'll get your car on this camera next time, see how big the cylinders are. Spence, we'll see you on Saturday. Break it all down.
All right, my man.
Folks, Clemson has won 4 straight. BC has dropped 2 consecutive. One streak will end Saturday night beginning at 7:45 p.m. Eastern. For more on this game or any other this weekend, be sure to stay with CBSSports.com. Watch everything else on the CBS Audience Network. With Spencer Tillman, I'm Jason Horowitz. Take care.